My fork stalls halfway to my lips, sweet potato casserole clinging to the prongs, as my father's voice slices through the soft murmur of Thanksgiving dinner. You're nothing but a leech. It's time you left this house. Suddenly, the food on my plate looks alien, inedible. The room goes still. I can hear the antique clock in the living room ticking, the one I paid to have fixed last month. I glance at my mother, hoping for anything. A flicker of sympathy, a crack in the mask. She won't meet my eyes. Denise just shifts green beans around her plate, pretending they're a puzzle to solve. Across the table, Tessa, my 17-year-old sister, clutches her half-empty water glass, eyes wide, lips parted. Shocked, but silent. What cuts deepest is the timing. I spent the entire morning in the kitchen. Turkey, basted. Potatoes, whipped. 3 pies, all me. They watched football while I cooked. 20 minutes ago, I announced my promotion at work. Now, while steam rises from the meal I made, my father decides I no longer belong. And the irony? Blinding. My name's on the electric bill powering the chandelier above us, on the water bill filling their glasses, on the grocery receipt for this very food, even Mom's doctor visits, my insurance. And somehow, I'm the burden? 3 months ago, when Mom lost her job at the firm, I didn't hesitate. Bills snowballed. Frank's part-time job at the hardware store didn't even cover the mortgage, so I covered everything else. Utilities, groceries, car insurance, medical bills. As more bills got shifted to my name, Frank grew colder, angrier. 2 weeks ago, I overheard him talking to Mr. Simmons through the open kitchen window. A man shouldn't lose control of his own house. She acts like she owns the place now. I didn't realize he meant me. Not until I heard him say my name. Now he's staring me down, waiting for a reaction. Anger, tears, a plea. But I just keep chewing. Mechanically, the sweet potato tastes like air. Did you hear me? He snaps. You're out by the weekend. My hands tremble, not with fear, with something deeper. Shifting. I set down my fork, lay the napkin beside my plate. Meet his gaze. I understand perfectly. Those words land softly, not angry, not pitiful, just resolute. Frank blinks, surprised. The silence stretches. Finally, Mom speaks, not in my defense. Blair, she says quickly, her voice hushed. You'll still cover the medical insurance this month, right? I've got that. Appointment Tuesday. And just like that, it's clear. Not daughter. Not family. Just a credit card in human form. I stand, collect my plate, grab Tessa's glass. Of course, Mom. I'll handle it before I go. As I rinse my plate, my mind ticks off every item in this house tied to me. The upgraded internet I got for Tessa's schoolwork. The new fridge I bought in July. The utility accounts, saved from disconnection when I stepped in. Through the window, I see my car in the driveway. The only thing here that's 100% mine. At least I'll have that. Tessa enters quietly, places her plate by the sink. She doesn't look at me, but her fingers brush mine, light as breath. The closest thing to support I've felt in months. It's 1:18 a.m. The digital clock glows as I fold another sweater into my suitcase. I've been packing for hours, methodically, automatically. But my mind? Racing. I reach for my file of financial documents, receipts, bills, insurance records. But underneath it, I find something strange. A bank statement. Frank's name. Paper statements. We switch to electronic months. I pull it out, then another, then 3 more. An unfamiliar account, with a balance that's been growing. while my savings vanish. $4,000 in July, $5,000 in August, nearly $7,000 now. And beside them, a glossy boat brochure. Down payment, $5,500, scrawled in Frank's handwriting. Scheduled delivery after Thanksgiving, underlined. My stomach turns. While I paid for checkups and groceries and school supplies, Frank was saving for a fishing boat. A notepad falls from the drawer, scrawled across it. November bills. Blair? After bills paid. They planned this, waited for me to pay November's bills before kicking me out. A knock on the door. Tessa slips in. "You're really leaving?" she asks, voice barely a whisper. "Dad didn't leave me a choice," I say, sliding the bank statements into my purse. "They need your room for storage," she mutters. "Now that Dad's buying that boat." The word lands like a slap. Tessa looks away. "I heard them planning it. Weeks ago. Said they'd wait till you covered the bills." "You knew?" Tears fill her eyes. "I wanted to tell you, but Dad said anyone who warned you would be next. I want to be angry, but she's just a kid, caught in the same trap I'm escaping." "There's more," she whispers. "Those doctor visits Mom's been going to. Last week she came back with swollen lips. Said she couldn't drink through a straw." She mimics Mom's eye roll. "It wasn't a checkup. It was fillers." The room spins. I've been eating ramen while Mom gets lip injections. On my insurance. I pull out my banking app. $763.42. 3 months ago, I had over $9,000. If I'd stayed one more month, I'd have nothing left. Tessa nods. "Dad said if you try to take anything when you leave, he'll report you for theft. Even the stuff you bought." Of course he did. I pull out the shoebox under my bed. Receipts, dated, matched with credit card statements. Proof of everything I've paid for. Tessa watches me. "Blair, if it were you, would you stay quiet to keep the peace, or stand up for what's right?" No easy answer, not for either of us. 3 days later, during my lunch break at my part-time job, my phone buzzes. Aunt Phyllis. "Blair, I can't believe you'd abandon your parents like this. They needed you." My knuckles whiten around my phone. "Did Dad tell you he kicked me out?" I ask calmly. "He said you stormed out after a minor disagreement. Now everyone's gathering at my house this weekend to talk about your behavior." Of course they are. A family tribunal where they control the narrative. I'm sure they are. I hang up before she can say more. That night, I crash on Drew's pull-out couch. My entire life reduced to 4 boxes and 2 suitcases. What couldn't fit is jammed in my car downstairs. 25 years of memories, packed in 2 rushed hours while they were at church. Another buzz. A cousin. "You broke Mom's heart." I don't open it. When Drew gets home from her hospital shift, I'm cross-legged on the floor, paperwork all around me. "Operation Financial Freedom," she jokes, dropping her bag. "Almost done. I've canceled all automatic payments, removed myself from their phone plan, cut off internet. The customer service rep even laughed when I said I was voluntarily unhooking myself from my parents' financial lifeline. They'll figure it out, Drew says. They made the mess. Let them clean it. But the damage they left behind? It's deep. I have just enough money for a security deposit, not even first and last month's rent. You sure your roommate's okay with me staying? Max? He loves having you here. The front door bursts open. Max walks in with his golden retriever. Blair, meet the worst therapist alive, but he works for treats. The dog drops a slobbery tennis ball in my lap. He thinks you need it more than he does. I laugh. For the first time in days. 5 days post-escape, I'm at Drew's kitchen table hunting for higher-paying jobs. My phone rings. Mom. I consider ignoring it. But something tells me to pick up. Blair? The power's out. Internet's down. The clinic said my insurance got declined. I breathe deep. Calm. I stopped paying for things that weren't my responsibility. But we're your family, she pleads. Family doesn't call each other leeches at Thanksgiving dinner. Your father didn't mean it. She softens. Manipulative. You know how he gets. I do. That's the problem. I hang up. Later that evening, Drew peers over my shoulder. You've got suspicious login attempts on your bank account. We set up fraud alerts. The contrast is stark. Drew waits for permission before using my charger. My parents took everything and still want more. That night I scroll through studio listings. They're small, but they're mine. Next morning I go to a credit union. Open a new account. Transfer. Every last dollar. Ping. Text from Tessa. Mom wants your bank info. Don't trust her. A flood of missed calls. Then an email. Fraud alert. Password reset attempt on your banking app. They're not done. They want the scraps. The bank confirms. 3 attempts from their home address in 24 hours. They lock the account. New passwords. New protection. The electric company even tells me, your mom tried to reinstate service under your name. We blocked her. Every confirmation is a brick in my new wall. Not of anger, but of security. Protection. Drew brings me tea. Last one done? No one can change anything without my approval now. Then, bang, loud, at the door. Frank. Blair, open this door. Drew motions for me to stay, but I go. Frank's face is red with rage. He pounds harder. You abandoned your family. You destroyed us. Across the hall, Mrs. Perkins peers out. I've called building security! Frank snarls. Mind your business. It is my business when you wake. The whole building! He turns back, growling. Blair, if you don't open this door, I'll... He kicks it. The frame cracks. I dial 911. Security arrives. Then sirens. Sir, step away from the door. She's my daughter. I have rights. Not to damage property, not to threaten residents. 2 cops cuff him, escort him away. Would you like to press charges? Yes, and I'd like to file a restraining order. Later, Tessa texts me. Mom pawned your laptop and came. Mom pawned your laptop and camera. Said you owe her $300. She even names the pawn shop. I have receipts. Serial numbers. An hour later, Officer Williams files a theft report. This is criminal. We'll retrieve your items. And for once, the system works for me. The family's narrative crumbles. Neighbors talk. Relatives call. We didn't know things were so bad, Blair. Mom texts me. I pawned your stuff to pay the electric bill. You owe me $300. The delusion is unreal. I log it as evidence. 3 days later, Mom calls. If you drop the theft report, you can come back home. Your room's just how you left it. I say nothing. Blair, maybe we should talk about your state of mind. Frank and I are worried. People would understand that better than your version. A veiled threat. I have every receipt, every bill, bank transfers, even texts asking me to pay for medical treatments. Silence. The next morning, Officer Williams escorts me back to my parents' house to collect my things. I hand her a folder. Bills, receipts, grocery lists, insurance payments. She flips through. You paid for all of this? Yes. Since Mom lost her job. Mom appears. You can't take that furniture. It's ours. I hold up receipts. Want to see them? William studies her. Then me. Looks like Blair's been carrying this home for 6 months. I pack methodically. Outside, neighbors watch. I let them. My car is nearly loaded when Frank pulls into the driveway. In my spare car. He gets out, jingling the keys. We need to talk. About what you owe us before you take this. I hold up the title and registration. Both in my name. Sir, Officer Williams says, hand over the keys. He hesitates. I paid for her braces, her college. The keys. He drops them. I've never seen him look so small. Come near me or my property again, and I'll file another restraining order. I drive away. Tessa stands in the doorway, 1 foot inside, 1 foot out. A hesitant wave. She hasn't found her strength yet, but maybe she will. 3 blocks away, my phone buzzes. Tessa. They're blaming me now. What do I do? The light turns green. I sit, thinking. 3 months later, sunlight streams into an apartment I chose myself. Bills line my desk, modest, manageable. All in my name. I painted the accent wall deep teal last weekend. No one told me not to. This Thanksgiving, I serve a smaller turkey. The table doesn't match, but it's mine. Tessa, now in college, hovers. Can I help? Being here is enough, I say. Drew raises her glass, to found family, and boundaries worth keeping. Max and Tessa raise theirs. Later, as we go over scholarship forms, Tessa says, they lost the house. Blame the bank. Uncle Rick's already hinting they can't stay long. I glance at 5 unopened letters from them. They still blame you, she adds, but I know the truth. My money only postponed the inevitable. Sometimes I wonder, should I let them back in? When family's broken your trust, is peace worth maintaining that wall? What would you do?